So we'll start by connecting with the breath. Close the eyes. Sit nice and tall, draw the crown of the head up towards the sky. Place the palms on the knees or on the ankles. You can also place them in prayer pose, wherever you are most comfortable. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale. Draw the tummy into the spine. Inhale. Feel the belly rise. On inhale, we're going to bring the arms up, reaching up to the sky. Gaze can come up as well. Wiggle the fingertips, reach, interlock the fingers. Exhale, release. Clasp the hands behind us, and we're just going to, hinging at the hips, take a slight lean forward, keeping that chest open, shoulders back. Inhale to come up, arms come up. Exhale, interlock the fingers and fold forwards. Notice how I'm keeping my shoulders drawn back and my chest is still open, I'm not hunching. Inhale, drawing back up, release the arms. We're going to come to our tabletop. So check the alignment, knees under hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. I'm going to take some circles, a little bit of movement here, whatever works for you. Just before we come into our cat-cow. Maybe wiggle the hips a little bit. Find some stillness and inhale, belly comes down, gaze comes up, send those hips nice and high. Exhale, rounding off the spine, tucking the tailbone under. Inhale to the cat. Exhale. And keep moving in time with your own breath. When you're ready, find some stillness, find that neutral spine. And on an inhale, we'll curl the toes under. Exhale, sending the hips up high to our downward dog. Pedaling the feet. Really warming up in our first downward dog. Remembering to check that alignment, tucking the lower ribs under. Inhale, come up to the balls of the feet. Walk our feet between our hands. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Now we're going to take our traditional sun salutation. So starting in Tadasana, feet underneath the hips. Nice and comfortable. Activate the legs, palms forward, relax the face and neck. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right foot back. We're going to come to a low lunge. Arms reaching up, square the hips to the top of the mat. Exhale, plant the hands and send the left foot back to down dog. Inhale, we'll rise up onto our toes, then exhale, knees, chest, chin, tucking the elbows in, and then inhaling up to cobra, staying active in the glutes, really looking after the lower back, slight micro bend in the arms, shoulders and chest are open. Then we're going to exhale back into downward dog. Inhale, right leg comes up, place the foot between the hands, dropping the left knee into our low lunge. Arms up, gaze comes between the fingers. Exhale to plant the hands, bring in the left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to Tadasana. And now we'll do the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot steps back, dropping the knee. Arms up. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, rise. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, Downward Dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the left leg up. Low lunge. Arms up. Exhale, hands down. Right foot comes to meet the left, forward fold, stacking the hips, knees and ankles. Inhale. Exhale to Tadasana. Starting in Tadasana, we'll inhale, step the right foot back at a 45-degree angle coming into Warrior One. Squaring the hips with the top of the mat. If you need to, use the width of your mat to place the feet and it'll help you square the hips. Inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, really flexing that front knee, keeping awareness in the knee, keeping it stacked above the ankle. Nice strong Warrior One, active in that rear leg. Squeeze, inhaling, reaching with the fingertips. Exhale, ground through your foundation. Now we're going to come into Warrior Three. So, if necessary, you can skip that back foot in a little closer and come up onto the tiptoes. Option to leave the arms where they are, raised, or you can bring them down by your sides. We're going to inhale to lift the right leg off the mat, keeping the hips square. And as we exhale, we'll hinge at the hips, staying active in that left leg to support us. And we want to try and make one long line, one straight line from the crown of the head to the heel of your floating leg. I keep the foot flexed here as it helps really engage the glutes and keep that leg active. Remember to breathe. Inhale to come back up. Plant the foot, draw the arms upwards, Warrior One. Then we'll inhale, stepping up. Exhale, release the hands, back to Tadasana. And now we'll take it on the other side. Inhale, the left foot comes back, 45-degree angle. Squaring off the hips, arms come up. Exhale, really flex that front knee. Ground through the feet, all the while staying active in both legs, squeezing the glutes, squeeze the core. Holding here. Then inhale, just drawing that back foot in a little. Bring our arms to where we wish to hold them when we're in Warrior Three. And once we're ready again, inhale to lift the left leg. Then exhale to fold. Hinging at the hip. trying to create that one long line and micro bend in the supporting leg. If you struggle to balance here, then feel free to use a wall or a table, whatever prop you may have nearby to help support you. Inhale, drawing back up, planting the foot, going back into a warrior one. Exhale, ground, then inhale, stepping up. Exhale, the hands down to Tadasana. Now we're going to take a standing balance and we're going to do a tree pose, or Vrikshasana for those using Sanskrit. We're going to balance first on our right leg, so take a moment, just draw that left foot onto the tiptoes and shift your weight into that right side. Feel for your balance here. Now there's an option for your foot placement depending on the range of movement that you have. So if this is your first time, then I recommend placing the left foot on the inside of the right ankle so your toes are still in contact with the mat, or you can place the foot on top of the right foot. Bring it to the inside of the calf or shin. Avoid the knee, avoid joints where you're weight bearing. And if you have it in your practice, then feel free to bring it to the upper inner thigh. Once you're there, you've inhaled, drawn the foot up to where it's comfortable for you. Take a moment to check the alignment. We want our hips to be square with the long edge of the mat this time. And we're creating one long line from the knee all the way through the hips. On an inhale, you can draw your hands up to prayer. If you want to challenge the balance some more, then inhale them overhead. Really squeeze, particularly that supporting leg, the right leg. Stay active. Keep your gaze ahead, or you can draw it up slightly. As we inhale, we're reaching up, really trying to get as tall as we can. Remember, this is tree pose. And as we exhale, we're grounding through that right foot. Notice the shoulders are away from the ears. Relax the face. One last inhale, reaching up a little more. Exhale, release the hands down and release the left foot. Shake the legs out. Now, if you do struggle to balance, particularly if you're trying one of the variations where your foot is actually raised, then don't wobble in the pose for sort of tens of seconds on end. Do come out of it and cue yourself back into the pose, remembering to inhale as you draw the foot up and hold, find your balance, the stability, and then take the hands up to where you're bringing them. So we'll shift on to the left hand side. Once again, taking a second to find your stability. And then on an inhale, draw the right foot up to wherever serves you. Finding that alignment, that nice straight line from the right knee this time across to your left hip. Inhale, bring the hands to your mudra. I'm going to take Pranamasana, prayer pose. And as I inhale, I'm reaching with the crown of the head, really trying to get as tall as possible. Exhale, I'm grounding through my left leg. I'm going to inhale to raise the arms up. And my gaze is coming up as well. If you want to challenge yourself, really challenge your balance, you can bring your gaze to the tip of your nose, or you can even try and close your eyes. If you struggle to maintain the position that I'm in, your foot slips, sometimes it can just be the clothes that you're wearing. It might be that you're wearing particularly slippy leggings, but do remember to really press with the heel of the bent leg into that inner thigh. Not only will it help you open your hips, but it does help with your stability and keeping the foot there. One last inhale. And then we'll exhale, release the hands, release the foot, and shake the legs off. Okay, next we're going to come into an arm balance. So I'm going to teach you crow pose. I'm going to do a demonstration first. So we'll start in the middle of the mat. Checking our alignment, feet about hip width apart or a little bit wider. We're going to come into our malasana, our yogic squat first. So if you're already familiar with this, then you'll know roughly where you want your feet to be. Engaging the core, we'll inhale and exhale to lower down into our yogic squat. We then want to place our palms out in front of us, fingers splayed. On an inhale, we'll rise up, bringing our knees so that they're in contact with the sort of tricep area of the arms. Squeezing the core as we move forward, we come up onto the big toes, onto the tiptoes. Squeeze the core, and when you're ready, you can initially just take one foot up, followed by the other. Or if you have this in your practice already, work on drawing both feet up at the same time and bring the big toes to touch. Keep breathing while you're here, squeeze the core, and on an exhale, do your best to gracefully come out of the pose. Now feel free to place a cushion in front of you if you find it quite daunting, the idea of rocking forwards. And really do engage that core. And don't move on until you feel that you're stable in the first few stages of the pose. So I'll give you time to have a try now. Okay, next we're going to come into an arm balance. So I'm going to teach you crow pose. I'm going to do a demonstration first. So we'll start in the middle of the mat. Checking our alignment, feet about hip width apart or a little bit wider. We're going to come into our malasana, our yogic squat first. So if you're already familiar with this, then you'll know roughly where you want your feet to be. Engaging the core, we'll inhale and exhale to lower down into our yogic squat. We then want to place our palms out in front of us, fingers splayed. On an inhale, we'll rise up, bringing our knees so that they're in contact with the sort of tricep area of the arms. Squeezing the core as we move forward, we come up onto the big toes, onto the tiptoes. Squeeze the core, and when you're ready, you can initially just take one foot up, followed by the other. Or if you have this in your practice already, work on drawing both feet up at the same time and bring the big toes to touch. Keep breathing while you're here, squeeze the core, and on an exhale, do your best to gracefully come out of the pose. Now feel free to place a cushion in front of you if you find it quite daunting, the idea of rocking forwards. And really do engage that core. And don't move on until you feel that you're stable in the first few stages of the pose. So I'll give you time to have a try now. So now if you come to your Baddha Konasana, your butterfly pose, so we're seated with the soles of our feet together. I like to interlock the fingers and bring the hands underneath the outer edges of the feet. It's up to you, you can also take hold of your ankles if that's more comfortable. Notice that because I've got hold of my feet, I'm tucking my elbows in. My chest is open, my shoulders are back, and I'm sitting nice and tall. I'm working in the glutes to help draw my knees down and support my hips. Inhale, open the chest, sit tall. Exhale, see if you can draw the knees down a little bit further. Keep breathing. This time we're going to inhale, lengthen, and as we exhale, hinging at the hips, we can bring our elbows to press on the thighs. Just going to take a slight lean forward. Keeping that spine nice and lengthened, so shoulders and chest are open, we're not hunching. See if you can get a little bit further on each exhale. Squeeze. Inhale. Come back up. And then you're going to take some windscreen wipers with the knees. So sitting like this, bring the knees together and then send them one side and then the other. Loosen off the hip flexors, the groin. Then we'll come back into our butterfly pose. So soles of the feet together. Finding that alignment once again. Inhale, exhale, folding forward. Keep breathing. Inhale to come up. Plant the hands and take some windscreen wipers again. Now we're going to come to a reclined position, so we're going to lay on our backs. And we'll start by inhaling to draw the left knee up to the chest, hug it in, and then on an exhale, using the left hand, we'll just open that hip, draw the knee, as if we're trying to tuck it under the left armpit. Breathe into that. If you like, you can take a more dynamic movement, so inhaling as you bring the knee across, exhale to open back out. And you can move through in time with your own breath, or you can stay static, holding the hip here. Inhale, draw that knee back to center, get a nice squeeze. Exhale, placing it back down, and we'll do the same on the right side. Inhale, draw the right knee up, hug it into the chest. Exhale, opening the hip out to the right hand side. Try to draw that knee underneath the armpit. Again, you can take this more dynamic. Inhale, cross the body. Exhale, drawing it out. Inhale, bringing the knee back to center. Big squeeze. Exhale, shake the legs out, and now we're going to come into Happy Baby. It's a favourite of mine. So making sure that our tailbone stays in contact with the mat. We're going to inhale to draw the knees up towards the chest, and then bring our feet so that we can reach them with our hands. If you struggle to reach your feet, then no worries. Similarly, if you struggle to get this angle at the knee, then take hold of the backs of your thighs rather than reaching for the feet. That will assist still in opening the hips and drawing the knees down, getting the benefits of the stretch, but it will prevent you from overly tilting the pelvis upwards. Taking a little rock side to side here. Maybe you want to alternate extending one leg and then the other. If you have it in your practice, feel free to extend both legs. You can take hold of the big toes using the first two fingers and the thumb. And exhale, stretching out. All the while keeping that tailbone in contact with the mat. Take an inhale and then exhale. Release the legs down. Finding stillness as we come into our Shavasana. So bring the feet about the same width as the mat. Let the feet just fall out. Palms facing upwards, wider than the feet. Melt the shoulders and the back. The hips, the legs all melt into the mat. Relax the face. If your tongue has come to the roof of your mouth, then release it from there. Maybe you set an intention for the day, or maybe you just want to practice some gratitude. So find what you're grateful for, set your intention, bring that to mind, and focus on that. There's plenty to be grateful for. Then start bringing awareness back to the body, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Maybe shake the legs out a little bit. Bring the arms overhead, take a nice stretch. And then when you're ready, rolling over to your left hand side, making a pillow with your hands. And back up. Keeping the eyes closed if you wish. Finding your seat, hands come to prayer. Thank you for joining in this practice. Namaste.